What are you supposed to be? Eminem back in the 90s?
Let's get down to business. I don't got time to mess around. What is this?
Nobody cares about your Eminem hoodie.
Dude, Eminem is wicked.
I love Eminem. Love Eminem. Did you listen to his diss track? Did you listen to his diss track?
Yeah, I did, dude.
I love that thing, dude.
You know what?
So
Mike and I are writing each other diss tracks.
No, you're not.
We are.
Oh my god, man. I thought about that too. Maybe we should do diss tracks.
Yeah, I thought about that. But
me, you, Sean Capri, the Mega Dads.
I thought you might get too offended.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of the Nintendo Playstation Podcast. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my best friend in all the land, Eminem. What's up, Em?
Yo, what is up, Bobby?
What is wrong with you,
That
man?
was too deep for Eminem.
What was wrong with you?
Yo, what is up, Bobby?
What are you doing, dude?
That's a little bit too high.
Oh, my God. Well, take the hood off.
No, Bobby.
Why?
I'm cozy.
I'm cozy. Yay.
Take your hat off, Bobby.
I could do that.
Go on, do it.
Well, the hoodie looks stupid. The hat looks cool.
The hoodie is very Look. Do you want this? Do you prefer this, Bobby?
You act like your hair looks gorgeous every time you're on camera. Your hair does look okay.
All right, well, fine. We'll just run with it then.
I mean, the hoodie probably messed it up a little bit.
A little bit.
You know, so whatever, man. How you been, Toby?
I've been reasonably good.
Reasonably good. You British.
It's
you British
raining
are so
right now.
There's a shocker. There's an absolute shocker. Raining in England? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's why you people are miserable all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be miserable, too, if it rained every day.
You know, this summer was like our hottest summer on record. And we complained. It's too hot. In the winter, we complain. It's too cold.
It's everywhere, dude. They do that here, too.
But, you know, like, we do like it when it's sort of spring or autumn weather. Like, that in-between weather, that's the favourite kind of weather for British folk.
Yeah. Years ago, I used to drive a forklift. We were talking about this, right?
Yeah, we did.
But it was an outside job. So this one winter, it was so cold. And we were having truckloads of material showing up. And I would have to go out and unload it. And literally, by the time I got done unloading the truck, I couldn't feel my legs, my arms, my hands. I was like frozen, right? And I was like, I will never again in the rest of my life ever complain about heat.
Yeah.
Like, there's just, when it's that cold, you just can't get warm unless you go inside.
Dude, right, last night we went to Becky and Mike's for a pizza night, and it was a little bit chilly. It was like 20 degrees or something, and not too bad. Stepped inside his house, it was like walking into a sauna. I couldn't believe it. He had the heating on.
What?
It was so unbelievably hot because Mike doesn't like the cold. He's a little bit
such a sissy.
Yeah, a little bit when it comes
not
to
a little bit, that's a lot. It's not that, like, it's not winter time. There's no need to turn the heat on.
I know, right? So I stepped in and I was like, oh my gosh, Mike. I was wearing this hoodie. I took it off immediately. I was sweating. I was like clearly not in good shape, but Mike refused to turn the heating down.
So what you're telling me is this, is that you wore that hoodie last night, you sweated in it, and you're wearing it again now.
No,
you are a nasty individual.
No, Bobby. I took it off like before I got major sweats.
Oh my God. All right. Let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs.
Geek Out! Was that a little better?
That was it. Geek Out!
Geek Out! I don't know. Like, I'm just channeling my inner Sean Capri is all, you know.
Yeah, well, you're not doing that because you'd be climbing on the shelves behind you, screaming, "Geek out, geek out!"
Yeah,
geek
just like clinging onto the shelf, like leaning backwards, looking over my shoulder.
Toby, what are you geeking out about today?
So last night, as I said, I went round Mike's and I bought my Switch with me. This is like the first time I took my Switch out in over a year, probably.
Okay.
And I had Mario plus Rabbids in it.
Okay.
And Mike and I played some verses in tabletop mode.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I've never played verses before. Mike beat me. I think he was cheating a little bit. He had characters that had vampire ability, just took all my health and healed himself with it. So I wasn't very happy about that. But afterwards, because I said I beat the game.
Yeah.
There's one ultimate challenge that I didn't beat. It was the final ultimate challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Where you escort Toad like across a massive map. And I was telling Mike that this is the only thing I've got to do to officially 100% the game. And he said, "All right, let's do it." So we both sat there and we went through it, and we did it first time. We beat it together.
That's awesome.
So it was
high five and hug each other and stuff.
Not quite. We're not that. We're not like that, Mike.
You're not that close.
Yeah.
Myself, I am geeking out about my new iPhone that I just got. It's the iPhone XS.
Is it excessively expensive?
It is that. So I thought I was getting the Max and mistakenly picked out the wrong phone. I didn't realize. I should have specifically said to the woman, "Do you have the XS Max?" But whatever. The phone is identical to the Max. It's just a little bit smaller. So this is 6 inches.
To be honest, Bobby,
yeah,
that's big enough.
Yeah.
Like
the Max is 6.5 inches. That's
like big. This phone I've got is big enough. Like any bigger is too much because your thumb just can't reach.
Yeah,
you have to
I
use
agree.
2 hands.
I agree. Well, it's bigger height wise, but the cool thing about this is a lot of the features that it has, like facial recognition. I'm totally getting used to all this stuff. But like it's louder. The phone is louder. Mm-hmm. The image is unbelievable on it.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it is it records in 4K.
Whoa.
And
that's nice.
And the face camera, you have this camera here on the back, that's the 4K camera. But the camera that faces me does it in HD 1080 60.
Yeah, that's
so like I can use this.
Not a lot of phones do that.
No, and I can use this to vlog now. So I can actually use this to take it places and vlog, and because that was always my fear. Like I would vlog with my phone, and I would have a good quality image when I was filming other things, but filming me was never that great.
Yeah,
and now it'll all be parallel, and all will I'll just have to not record in 4K unless I'm doing stuff. But it also makes me wonder, like now, when I do stuff like unboxings and stuff, if I use this camera instead, so I get a better, richer quality video when I'm doing it. Because I'm debating doing some stuff with my unboxings. I'm going to try some stuff moving forward. I just got to get my other little studio area set up, but that'll be hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Dude, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, dude. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Turning your house into a studio.
That's what the next room over. Right now, it's just filled with boxes. I'm gonna actually start unpacking everything that's in there, get it cleaned out, paint one of the walls green so I can have a green screen again, and then just turn it into like a place where I can go and record. I might actually at some point set up a second computer with a laptop and a webcam and all that, and then if someone comes over, we can record. They could be in that room, I could be in this room. We could both, still technically together, just separate rooms. Be kind of cool.
Yeah, sounds cool, man.
So let's jump into our news at this moment. So for those that don't remember how we used to do this, the way we used to do this was I would bring 3 news topics, Nintendo news topics. Toby would bring 3 Sony news topics. He would pick the Nintendo story he wanted to hear. I would pick the Sony story that I would want to hear. and then that's how we do it. So, Toby, I'm going to go first.
All right.
I'm going to go first. I'll read my 3 stories, and then you tell me my 3 articles, topic, whatever. The titles to the stories, and you tell me which one you want to hear. Ace Attorney Trilogy announced for Switch. Telltale Games lays off some developers, or some majority of the staff, and the N64 Controller trademark goes through.
I'm interested in that last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let me pull this up. This article is coming from Nintendo Wire.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo 64 controller trademark from Nintendo accepted. Calling all N64 fanboys and girls, and I know there are a lot of you out there, get yourselves ready. The N64 Classic Edition might finally be on its way. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's make it clear that this is speculation and nothing has been confirmed by Nintendo or other outside sources. However, some very interesting news in the trademark space has just been discovered. Last summer, Nintendo filed the trademark of the Nintendo 64 controller in the form of a simple outline art style drawing, but it's only been found that the trademark was accepted this year on August 30th, 2018. And while some people might argue that trademarks can be filed for any numerous reasons, what's significant about this one is it closely resembles the trademarks of the NES Classic and the SNES Classic logos as well. So basically, they went back and they're showing images as well of like the way that the trademarks went through and how the outline images of the controllers were very prevalent with all the consoles, like with Switch and then with the SNES Classic controller. If this were the case, and this was Nintendo's attempt at branding the next classic console, then it's not far off to believe that. With the trademark finally accepted, we could see the nostalgia return fairly soon, perhaps even soon enough to compete with Sony's PlayStation Classic. It's easy to see the similarities between this trademark and the NES and SNES one from the past couple of years. Nintendo has hit a gold mine with their Classics brand, so recreating the N64, one of their most beloved consoles of all time, would certainly be a lucrative decision for Nintendo. So there's where we're going with that. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, in regards to that last point about it competing with the PlayStation Classic, I think that because it was granted so late in the year, that I don't know if they're going to have enough time to get it out in time to compete, unless they've already been working on it.
Oh, I'm sure they've already been working.
But I don't know, I don't really necessarily know how companies work with things like this. But if they've not got something like that granted, isn't it quite risky to design and build a product that you might not be able to sell?
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. It's basically a formality for Nintendo to do these trademarks, just because of the fact of they've already created this product in the past. It's more or less, and if I'm not mistaken, the same thing happened with the SNES and the NES, where they were granted maybe late summer, and then that fall Nintendo went right into here it is, it's going to come out.
Well, all right then. So if that's the case, then that does make quite a lot of sense, and it's very exciting, Bobby, because I've been wanting the N64 Classic for a long time. So, and with the PlayStation Classic, that, like you say, that would be very good to compete there, because I don't think Nintendo would just like to give them the hot ticket item this Christmas,
No.
Because
well, I mean, and in theory, people just assumed that hey, the past 2 years we've gotten these classic consoles, we're just going to get another one this year. And then Sony came along and announced theirs, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But essentially, I also kind of wonder, will this work out? You know what I mean? Because with the N64, I would dare to say, and be as bold as to say, 90% of their good games were rare games on that console.
I'd say 5 of them, yeah. But
5? That's it?
Yeah.
That's a lot when you're talking about this classic thing.
That could very well be 25% of the games that people want on there.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, easily. I mean, obviously you're going to want the Banjo-Kazooie on there without a doubt. You're going to want GoldenEye, but GoldenEye also goes into a licensing issue.
Oh yeah,
whether Nintendo could get that license. But then you go on the other side, Perfect Dark, Killer Instinct. Like, there's a few games that I think Nintendo fans would love to see on this thing. But we got to also remember this too: Nintendo and Microsoft are kind of working hand in hand together. Yeah. So to hear that there would be a licensing deal made on this would not surprise me in the least.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what? Like, if that thing did have GoldenEye or Perfect Dark on it, I think that it would sell through the roof because the amount of nostalgia people have for those games is just insane.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. I agree completely with you. Go ahead. What are your stories?
All right. So my stories are PlayStation Now has added new functionality. You can download your games. Red Dead has deeply immersive mechanics. Or Spider-Man sells like gangbusters.
The Spider-Man one doesn't. I mean, that doesn't surprise me, and I'm not worried about that one. That story. The two that are basically is the Red Dead and the PlayStation Now. But I want to hear about this PlayStation Now because I also heard some things. I want to see if this article talks about it. So okay, let's hit the PlayStation Now one.
All right. So PlayStation Now adds PlayStation 4, PlayStation 2 game downloads in US, changing the service dramatically. For years, it's felt like PlayStation Now has been treading water. It allows subscribers to stream games on their PlayStation 4, and it features a diverse library of games. Of course, not everyone is in a position to stream games perfectly because of internet, basically. However, Sony appears to be seriously stepping it up, as full game downloads have just been added to the PlayStation Now service. Starting today in the US, subscribers will not only be able to stream games, they will also be able to download both PlayStation 4 and remastered PlayStation 2 titles directly to the PS4 hard drive. Now, the caveat to that is you have to log into the service at least once every 3 days, just to make sure, which is fair enough in my eyes. But the bad thing about it is PlayStation 3 games, which is the bulk of games on the service, you cannot download because the infrastructure on the PS4 is just not designed for PlayStation 3 games.
Which kind of leads into the backwards compatibility issue, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
So the one thing I wanted to kind of discuss a little bit was the login thing. Because where I think it shows an absolute bias on fans, is they destroyed Nintendo when Nintendo announced that you had to log in once every 7 days to do to get the NES games locked in on your console. And now that PlayStation Now announces this, nobody's saying anything. It's like, it's deaf ears. And it's like, that's the part that really bothers me a lot of times, is how, and we've talked about it in the past, where Sony tends to sometimes get a free pass on some stuff, and people let things happen with it. And look, depending on what we're talking about, all the big three kind of get a pass on certain things. I think Xbox gets hammered for everything, but Nintendo and Sony, like, there's always these things that go back and forth where people go like, oh, well, we give them a free pass on this, but we attack them on this. And this is one that's definitely one that people were hammering Nintendo before Nintendo Online got announced. So it's kind of interesting to see how this is gonna weigh out in the thing. That said, I think it opens up the PlayStation Now, basic, the opportunity for more people to jump in, although it does suck that you can't get PlayStation 3 games. Like, that just... So basically all you can get is either PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 4 games.
Yeah, and the PlayStation 2 games are the exact ones that you can download on PS4 anyway. Okay. They're like the remastered ones that are already on there, so not too exciting, but... Yeah. As for the service itself, like, I've tried it in a free trial before, and it was okay. Like I was playing a few PlayStation 3 games, streaming them, but I think that, especially in the US where the internet isn't as solid across the entire country, this is quite good for those people that want to play those games and can just download them. Like I think that it's a mega shame though that the PlayStation 3 games, like I think that's the worst thing about it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's not a huge amount of PS2 games on there. PS4 games, okay, that's fine, but that's current gen.
Yeah.
But the PlayStation 3 is like, it's just disappointing because there's so many good games on there that you should be able to download and play, but you just can't. So.
Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into our topics now. I will go first since we're just going in this order, back and forth. But so Nintendo topic. Basically, the last time we spoke was that the earthquake had happened in Japan. It delayed the Nintendo Direct, so we didn't really get a chance to discuss the Nintendo Direct. I'm guessing at this point you've seen it by now.
Oh yeah, I watched it live anyway. So.
Oh, did you watch it live?
Yeah.
Why did you jump in the stream with me, man?
Well, because I didn't think you'd want me to, Bobby. Like,
oh my god, I asked you to do it.
Yeah, you asked me before the first time, and I was iffy about it, and I thought I annoyed you, so you didn't want to ask me again.
Oh my god,
you know...
I didn't ask you because I thought you were iffy about it. I thought if you wanted to do it, you would say something to me. Toby, you're more than welcome to join me anytime I stream that stuff.
All right, but well,
if you're going to be up, if you're going to, well, you did say to me you had to be quiet, and that's not what I want. I don't.
Yeah, I was sitting on the sofa. Kareem was asleep in the next room. I didn't have the TV too loud. I was like, just trying to contain myself.
So I can see you in here like, yes, and I'm over here screaming and stuff. Just tell Karina, this is part of the price you got to pay, woman. This is what we do. Yeah. So let's I'm curious. People have heard people watched my reaction, but people have heard. But I'm curious, like, what your takeaways were, what your favorite moments of this direct was, and then I'll kind of comment a little bit on these things too.
Okay. I think just the best thing is obviously the Animal Crossing tease. Oh
my god, of course!
Right at the end.
And did they get you? Did they troll you with that?
They did, and you know what? Nintendo are so clever. Like the way that, because they know their fans have been dying for this announcement.
Yeah,
and they knew exactly what they were doing with that fake out with the Isabelle for Smash. Because the way that Isabelle's in her office, and it's like it says not actual gameplay footage, but it very clearly looks like it could be footage from a new Animal Crossing. Yeah. So that was very fun, but just the bit with Nook at the end, like.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine like two E3s ago if they would have done the same thing with Metroid and done like Federation Force 2, right? Like that's the one people would have been losing their minds, and then they go like, "Oh wait a minute, here's one more thing behind it." Like that would have been amazing, like honestly. But that's basically what they did, and. Yeah. So I'm really, really, you know me, dude. I'm really excited for that game. I cannot wait.
And you know what? There was a little detail when it cuts back, and it's like he's watching the direct or the Isabelle Smash thing from his desk, and then he's like looking and he's trying to turn the lamp on and stuff. I didn't realize on his desk was an actual Switch.
I didn't realize it either first.
And if you saw that gives it away immediately. Yeah. But I was still not sure if they were.
Well, I'm looking at him.
Like,
You know what I mean? Like you're just so the first watch through. You're just so focused on him and like what's he gonna say and oh my god, and it's wait, is he in Smash? It's like totally throws you off, you know what I mean? But it was so good, man, how they did it. It was perfect. It was perfect. So what else got you excited for this?
Luigi's Mansion 3. Like again, Nintendo know what they're doing. They know fans wanted the original remastered for Switch, but they're getting it on 3DS, so they know that there's a bit of disappointment there. But in their back pocket, they just whip out Luigi's Mansion 3. Looks amazing. It looks like it's back to traditional in one big building, not multiple mansions. So that was like really.
You think there's any chance that they basically take that remaster version and 2 and slap them on the Switch before 3 comes out?
I doubt it. Only because they've got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on 3DS, and that would be nice to have that in HD just on Switch. But I don't think they're going to do that either.
You never know, man. You never know.
I think they would have done it by now.
Could you imagine a Zelda collection with like?
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh. Could you imagine if they were like, here's Ocarina of Time, here's Majora's Mask, here's Wind Waker, and here's Twilight Princess all on one?
Yeah, it should be.
Oh, that'd be
really
amazing.
It should be the Zelda machine. Like,
yeah, I agree. Just keep cranking them out, man. Yeah, I'm kind of now. People have said that like they think that this is going to go back to the classic Luigi's Mansion, where it's in one mansion and all that stuff. That kind of intrigues me. It kind of intrigues me. I'm
Did
hoping...
you watch the Game Explain?
I don't
analysis?
watch anything Game Explain does. Oh. Nothing Game Explain does.
Why, man?
Because they annoy me, dude.
They did a really awesome analysis of the trailer. They broke down loads of details. Mm-hmm. They've got theories about gameplay elements and stuff. And actually, what was really cool is that Luigi's vacuum, his poltergust, is the exact design from the Smash reveal.
Okay.
Where Luigi dies. So it's like that was kind of teasing it before it even happened anyway. So
that's pretty cool.
But they're thinking perhaps there might be multiple playable characters in this, whether it's a multiplayer or not. But
yeah, well, they did. They teased the multiplayer in the original one on the 3DS, where the other one's like a green character, like a totally green character. So I could see that they're tinkering with the multiplayer aspect for this series. So I could totally see that happening.
Yeah.
What else? What else got you hyped?
So unbelievably excited for this. This was almost my highlight of the Direct. The Final Fantasy section.
Oh my god, dude! When they announced Final Fantasy 12, right?
No, yeah, 12.
Well, I just want to say this: when they announced Final Fantasy 12, my thought instantly went, "Toby's losing his mind right now." Like I was like,
really am,
because you were like all excited when that came to PlayStation last year.
And I got like a third of the way through the game, but I'm just going to sell it and start again on Switch because I just want it handheld.
I will play with you on Switch.
Yeah.
I will play side by side with you, like we were supposed to do with Xenoblade Chronicles. And and you backed out. We'll. So I will do this one, and I would like some help and stuff. But go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. So like, and just the other games, Final Fantasy 7, 9, 10. All amazing, and just to have those PlayStation 1 games on a Nintendo console, it feels just perfect. Like,
here's my question to you: which camp are you in? Are you upset that 8's not in this? Or are you like, okay, whatever?
8 is good. I think it's highly underrated.
Yeah.
But just because we got 7 and 9, I think I'm happy with those. Like, and it's understandable because they've not put 8 on PlayStation, so they've not really. It's not like the other consoles have got it and we haven't. So.
Well, I think the other thing they said too was what's been happening is the ports that we are getting on the Switch are coming from the PC version, and what the theory is that 8 has never been put onto PC or remastered or done anything, so that's why it's not coming over. So there's still a chance, but I guess we'll find out as time goes on.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if they did eventually, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a whole lot of gaming. Like, but RPGs, Switch, they go hand in hand because
they do because it's so easy to basically just pick up and go and continue to play wherever you go. The biggest problem with RPGs, in my opinion, is when you go away on vacations. Like, if you leave and you stop playing, you have to stop playing that game for a week, and then you come back home and it's like, I don't even remember where I was.
Yep. Yeah, so, like, especially older ones that don't have, like, catch-up sections where you load in, they tell you what's happening. So, but yeah, I think, like, the PlayStation 1 ones are going to look great in handheld mode. Even though they've like up-res the character models and stuff, they don't look fantastic.
No, yeah.
But I think in handheld mode, they're going to look peachy.
I can't wait. I'm not really. I'll be honest with you. I'm not excited to play 7. Because I just don't think that one holds up in terms of like the way it looks. I might tinker with it a little bit.
I think 7 holds up with the story mainly.
Yes.
Fantastic story.
Yes.
The music in it is really good.
Yes.
And I quite like the materia system where you attach materia to weapons. I think that's pretty cool.
I'm more excited for 9. Like, that's the one I really want to go back and play a lot of, because I started it, but I just was not in a place to be able to play games then. So I would love to go back and play that one and really deep dive on that one.
Yeah. They're all great.
Yeah. And 10, I know 10-2's not that strong. I know
don't
10,
even play 10-2.
Yeah,
Bobby.
10 is good.
Yeah.
10-2 is not as strong. I know that for a fact. But was that essentially your takeaways, or anything else get you?
I actually the second look we got at Yoshi's Crafted World.
Okay.
Again, not like just watching it, I wasn't that excited. I was like, it looks pretty much how it did before. But again, watching the game explain analysis, it reveals there's a lot more to it than you think, and I think that could be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask you this because I'm just curious where you stand on all this. Did you buy Nintendo Online?
No.
Do you plan on buying Nintendo Online?
Not yet.
What's holding you back from getting it?
Mainly just because I don't play online games on Switch, really. Like, before we played a little bit of Minecraft and Mario Kart, but it's not something that I do regularly.
Yeah.
If it had the SNES games on the service, then I'd be much more interested. But the NES games, like, at the moment, I'm not fussed about it.
Do you like the fact that, like, there's going to be more games coming to the service?
Oh yeah. Like, I think the service is going to get a lot more appealing over time, especially when they start adding discounts and stuff to games. Like PS Plus, you get like at least a 10% discount on the network. Yeah. So yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I bought it that night. I bought the NES controllers that night.
Oh yeah.
And the one thing that I didn't know that they're doing is you're also getting special things for year members and family members. You're getting special things, meaning you had the opportunity to, as a member, you have the opportunity to buy the NES controllers. That was number one. 1 year and family members actually are also getting exclusive gear for Splatoon.
All right.
So that's kind of cool because it's like, that's something a little different that the other guys aren't doing, and I kind of like that. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you're getting this is what we're doing, and it's free, and go, So
yeah,
that's
like
kind of
that.
exciting, you know what I mean? And especially if it's like, just think about it, like a Zelda game comes out, and that you could, because Zelda was expansive with different gear, but could you imagine, like, they're like, hey, here's something cool, not like the Switch shirt that they gave us.
I was going to say, like, you get the Switch Online shirt.
Yeah, but if they gave you something cool, and it was like, hey, this is exclusive to being, You know
what would be cool, right, is if you just got the bike in Breath of the Wild for being an online member. Because I got the DLC, I didn't like it, so I never unlocked the bike. And if I could just get that by being an online member, that'd be...
I'm surprised. The Champions Ballad I get, because that was kind of like, eh. But, like, the Master Sword quest, I'm surprised you didn't like that.
Was the Master Sword quest the one where you have to sneak around and not get hit?
No.
Otherwise you just die?
No, that was the... And that quest is only for a few minutes. That's not that hard. The Master Quest one is when you go into a temple and you have to work your way through. And then...
Oh, yeah, you got the floors.
Yes, you got the floors.
Right,
and then you beat... Once you
I
beat
never
that,
tried that. I don't know why.
I think you would really like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I think you would really like that. It's fun.
I should try. I mean,
it's challenging, too. It's challenging,
I bought a season pass, so I might as well.
Well, get it, man.
Might as well.
Okay, so let's jump into your topic there, Toby.
All right, so we all know that Sony blew the world away when they announced the PlayStation Classic. Everyone just lost their minds. I just wanted to ask you what you thought about the way they revealed it, first of all, and like, are you excited about it? What games do you want to see on it?
So the way it got revealed was they just announced it, right? They just tweeted out the image and stuff.
What I mean is they've only announced 5 games so far.
Yeah. So the first thing I look at it and I go, I talked about this in a video that I did, but I feel like I don't feel like the idea of the like a thing like this is ripping off Nintendo. I want to state this.
Yeah, definitely not. Those consoles have been around for a while.
What I do feel like is ripping Nintendo off is the size, the mini portion of it,
right? The
name classics, and that's essentially where I feel like that's a carbon and the image. Like
with the hand,
yes, that's a rip off to the T. Like the only difference is PlayStation's hands tilted a little bit forward. That's it. But it's an absolute rip off in marketing.
Yeah, the marketing is total rip off. But you know what? Like Nintendo does it right.
My issue is so it's $100.
Yeah,
and they've only announced 5 games.
Yeah.
And I feel like, man, you want me to give you $100 in good faith, and we don't even know what the other games are.
Yeah.
And part of me feels like that's a little bit of the arrogance we get with Sony, and the other part of me feels like they just don't even know what the other 15 games are going to be. They're still trying to work that out.
Yeah.
You know, they're still trying to figure out exactly, or. Because the thing that doesn't make sense is why they got to know what games are going to be on there. Because
I think
the emulation has to be there. You have to have the emulation.
They've done it for speculation. They want to get people talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, they know people are going to have their own lists of what they want to see on it.
Yeah.
But again, like having the pre-orders come up and only knowing 5 games, that's a bit annoying because pre-orders sell out quick.
I think it should. Yeah, but here's the thing, and I'm going to look it up now while we're doing this. The other day I went the day after, and the pre-orders were still available. And that's with the NES Classics. That's not a thing. Like you got 10 minutes, and thing's gone.
I wonder whether that's just because Sony's got more stock. Like,
I doubt that. I don't
know. I think Sony's production line is probably a bit better than Nintendo's, to be honest.
It's still available for pre-order.
Okay.
On
well,
Best Buy.
anyway,
but you're talking a week later, dude. Like not even a week later. You're talking like 6 days. Like I don't know, or like what? 5 days after? 4 days after? Yeah. That's a long time, man. Nintendo is sold out instantly. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that's really what we should be judging this on, though. Like,
I think part of it is. I do think part of it is.
Well, I don't know. Like, is that demand, or is that just the fact that Sony has got more stock than Nintendo has? Like, maybe it's just something like that. Maybe it is because they've only announced.
Okay, here's the question.
Maybe it's the price. I don't know.
Did you pre-order it?
Yes.
Okay. I did not.
Amazon don't take your money until it comes out, so I can always cancel my pre-order.
That was my fault. So that makes sense. But there's the thing: you're pre-ordering it just to get the pre-order in.
Yeah.
You only did it so if they took the money, would you have pre-ordered it?
Probably because I'm an idiot.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I have, unless they announce a couple of games, I have no interest in this thing at all.
I mean, I think that the value is there for the price because even if the 20 games aren't all crackers, right? If there's some duds in there as well, then I still think the value is there because 20 games at an average of £5 per game. If you were to buy them on the PlayStation Network, you'd be paying £100, and it's $89.99 for the mini console. So, you know, I think that the value is there. You get 2 controllers. You're probably going to get features like save states, which you can't do if you just download them on your PlayStation 4. Maybe they'll have fast forward functions. I don't know, but I think that the value is there. And like you say, if they announce certain games, then I think the value is there. Like if they have Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Metal Gear Solid, Gran Turismo, Tomb Raider. There's like Mike and I made a list of nearly 40 games that we would like on this thing last night, and they're pretty much all amazing games.
So for me, Metal Gear has to be there.
Yeah,
because to me, the games that made it interesting for me back in the day was Final Fantasy. I bought the PlayStation 1 because of Final Fantasy. This does no interest to me to have Final Fantasy 7 on this thing, just because it's not going to be like Nintendo's coming out with one, and the Nintendo version is going to be better than the PlayStation version.
I don't know if it would be better, but I think
why wouldn't it be? Because Nintendo's got the HD or the up-res version.
Well, so is PlayStation 4. Bob.
Is that PlayStation 4, the classic one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So which version are they putting on the classic?
Well, it's HDMI. So you're probably right there, Bob.
Thank you.
They're probably going to have. It's going to be up-res in HD because of the cable, but it's not going to have the same like models as the PS4 version. You're probably right there because they're going classic.
They're going classic.
And I'm going to be playing 7 on my Switch anyway because I want handheld.
So that's why for me that doesn't sell me on it. Now if 7 wasn't coming to the Switch, then I might look at this and go like, "Oh my god, I got to have this." But it's not. So Metal Gear is the next one that has to go. If Metal Gear goes, you can almost guarantee I will buy this thing. Gran Turismo is another big one that I loved that original game, but I don't know how that would do for me. The car models and stuff, I don't know how good it would be. The problem is we have this with this particular version. When we hit these games, when we hit this era, we have this belief, this mindset that these games looked ungodly wonderful. Like these were the meccas of games. But when you actually go back and play these games, they suck.
Yeah, I think you have to have a strong nostalgia.
Yes.
And I think that's clearly what this product's aimed at is people that have nostalgia for those games and their era. Like, I mean,
Symphony of the Night, I never played that game, but I've always wanted to because that's the beginning of that's the Castlevania. When people go Metroidvania, that's the one they're referring to because the original Castlevanias don't even do that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the one that when you look at it, you go like, oh, this is a Metroidvania game. So for me, Metal Gear and Symphony of the Night would be the ones that would make me buy this thing. Like if they're putting in Parappa the Rapper, I don't care about that stupid game.
No. But like, what would interest me is the fact that there's so many like series on the PlayStation 1 that started off pretty shaky, but by the second or third game they got pretty good. Yeah. And if they have those series on there, what game are they going to have? So, are they going to have Tomb Raider 1 or are they going to have Tomb Raider 2 or 3? Yeah. And 2 is my favorite, but if they put 1 on there because it's the most classic, that's iffy. Yeah. Same thing with Crash Bandicoot. Yeah. Like, 2 and 3 are way better than the first one. Like you said, Gran Turismo, if they had Gran Turismo 2, way better. Even the Spyro games, like there's just so many of these series that get way better in the sequels, but because it's a classic, I don't know if they'd be choosing the originals. But then again, you've got Tekken 3 on there, so it's not like they've picked Tekken 1 or 2. So
yeah,
I just hope that they make the right choices when it comes to those series.
I think they will. I think Sony is the type of company that would, rather than go like Nintendo's going to go, we have to have the originals.
Yeah.
Sony's the type of company I think that'll look at it and go like, we have to have the best on here. And that's the difference between I think Sony and Nintendo, where Nintendo will go, well, we have to have Mega Man 1. We can't have like, even though Mega Man 1 sucks and 2 was the beginning of it all, we gotta have 1. And it's like really? No, we don't need 1. Like that's a lot of times that's Nintendo's thinking in those types of things, and as I say that, like I don't think they have Mega Man 1, they have Mega Man 2 on there. But like that's a rare case. But like I feel like when you look at this, where Sony's going to look at it and they're going to go, we're going to pick the best game to put on here. Because, like, Gran Turismo 1 was good, but I don't think it was that good. I don't think it was that great. Like Gran Turismo 2, but I think that was on PlayStation 2, right?
I think 3 was
the first right. 3
one.
Was the first one over there. So that's where you look at it and go, like, if you're going to put a Gran Turismo on there, put 2 on there. Don't put 1.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that.
Resident Evil 2 over Resident Evil 1. Like, that's a huge leap in quality right there.
Yeah. So that's where I hope when they look at this, that's what they do. Metal Gear Solid 1 was on there. Solid 2 was on PlayStation 2. Yep. So that wouldn't be... So you would... But 1, to me...
What about, right?
1 to... PlayStation Solid... Or PlayStation Solid. Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, no, you got me screwed up.
that's their next console.
That's what they should have called this thing. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid, to me, is probably the... And this is I'm gonna say this is it's probably the best game in the franchise, like in terms of like
I agree,
just blow you away, the stuff that they did in that thing, reading your memory card, which you're not gonna be able to do in this one. You're not gonna be able to read the memory cards and stuff, but they could do a play on that stuff.
They could read your save states for other games on this system.
That would be pretty awesome, man.
Yeah,
that would be pretty awesome.
But actually, it'd have to be game because they originally recorded the audio for a certain game, so they couldn't.
Yeah, but they could always. Whatever. Real quick, before you carry on, quick question: did they announce Crash at all for this?
No, they've just announced 5 games. So I think the 5 are Wild Arms, which I think is pretty good. Jumping Flash, which I think's like a cult classic, like a bit of a hidden gem. Ridge Racer Type 4, not interested in that whatsoever. Final Fantasy 7 and Tekken 3. So
the only one that interests me so far is Final Fantasy. That's it. And again, there's no reason for me to buy that because I just buy it on the Switch when it comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were we gonna say?
Grand Theft Auto. So there's technically 2 games and a spin-off.
Stop it, man. We don't need Grand Theft Auto on everything.
We do. But
we don't.
We do.
The game
we do.
is not. You build this game up in your mind. It is not. Those games are not that good. It wasn't until 3 and Vice City that it actually got good.
They announced, right, that the games are going to be different in Japan to the ones that are in the West.
You're going to be trying to buy both of
them. Not necessarily, but I was just wondering, like, wouldn't it be cool if they had Grand Theft Auto London in the UK version?
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, they do.
Even London people don't want that.
So there's other games like.
So how does Grand Theft Auto in London work? Because aren't guns illegal in England?
Well, I think it's based in the 60s.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say, what do you run around with knives and like?
It's like gangsters and stuff.
Yeah. I'm just teasing.
So, but actually, it's kind of interesting because Sony have been having a lot of remasters of these classic era games.
Yeah.
So you got the Crash remaster, you got Spyro remaster this year.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 remake next year.
Yeah.
Medieval, that's getting a remake. So are these original games going to be on there?
That's the thing that boggles me a little bit with this. You've done all these remasters.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody wants to play the originals.
I think it's an interesting history lesson. In a way,
I'm not paying $100 for you to teach me something. I got news for you. Like, I don't want Crash Bandicoot, the crappy version, when I could get the HD version. And like, it makes no sense, man. Same thing with Spyro. Like, why would I want to play the old? Now, see, that's the thing. Like, Jak and Daxter and all those, they didn't come until later, right?
Yeah, they're PS2 era.
They're PS2 era. So even Sly Cooper and all them. Mm-hmm. So I would assume that you would do a PlayStation 2 classic, right?
That would be amazing, but I think the PlayStation 2 library is just too big. Like, there's too many amazing games.
I don't see why you wouldn't do it.
They would have to have, like, 30 or 40 games on there, boy.
So let me ask you a question. If they put out that thing, right, and 30 or 40 games, and they charge $200...
Yeah, that's the issue, is the price. Like, they...
Yeah.
But you know what? I wonder, like, way back when the NES Classic was announced, I think it was the Nintendo dads that came up with an idea of why don't they just have a package, like a cartridge for your Switch with the games on. Like, so you don't have to get the mini console, you don't have to have the controllers. Like, I'd be up for that if maybe in a year's time they just had all these games bundled in one disc or whatever. Yeah. Like,
I agree.
And the same for Switch with the SNES Classic games.
Oh, dude, I would love that. I would buy that. I would buy it again. I have two of them. I have the European one that you sent me that I bought off you, and I have the American version. I would buy a third one that was just a cartridge.
It's just a bit of a pain having to switch your HDMI over and use a wired controller. Like, you know, it's kind of cool having like a little mini console in front of your TV, but for convenience factors, like, just let me play it on my PlayStation 4 or Switch.
Especially now where where I have the NES controllers coming in December. Like, dude, absolutely, man. That's the one thing. Like, I was playing with the Pro Controller, right? And I'm like, man, this just doesn't feel like an NES game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, because I got this big controller in my hands, it just doesn't feel like an NES game. And I'm like, so I'm excited for that little controller so I can actually go back to in history and just get all excited and all giddy.
Do you think when they add SNES games to the online service, they'll do SNES Joy-Cons?
God, I hope so. God, I hope so. I'll be so excited. Like, you know, like what they're doing with the controllers for the NES.
Yeah.
Oh God, if they do, I will scoop them up in a minute. Just I did with these. Like, I literally, man, Rybo texted me. I was getting ready to go to bed, and Rybo texted me. He's like, "Bobby, the controllers are up." And I'm like, "Well, I guess I ain't going to bed now." And I ran back here and ordered them. I was like,
dude, when they announced Kirby's Dream Course for the online, that's what I'm going to buy online, just so I can play Kirby's Dream Course with you online.
You better not buy it then.
Oh yeah, boy, I'm getting it. You can't stop me.
You should just not buy the. You're wasting money now at that point. I gotta say this: the online, so fluid, Toby.
Yeah. The
jumping in and out of with your friends, like that. It's Bobby, instant.
The day we can play Link to the Past together online, like that is just. That's going to be a dream come true, Bobby.
Oh man, I'm going to be like, yes, man, make it happen. I cannot wait for that moment. That is going to be like, if we're just sitting there and it's like, we could be on voice and playing. Because, dude, that's the other thing. My understanding is the voice chat app actually works pretty damn good.
Yeah.
With even the NES Classic games.
Okay.
Like, they're saying, like, Mario Kart, you just talk through the whole thing. Like, you jump into the lobby, and you can everybody that's in that race can chat with each other. It's pretty ingenious.
Yeah, that's cool. And, you know, I like the fact that they've updated it so the screen's not on all the time and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
but even so, like, you and I playing A Link to the Past, we could just do a Skype call. No big deal.
Yeah.
We could do a Skype call. We could play. And then, dude, the Pass the Controller feature, my God, Toby.
You can do a dungeon
each.
Yeah.
Ingenious. Me and Jams, I don't know if you ever watched Co-op Kings. Jams and I have been all the while, like, Co-op Kings was built for this.
Yeah.
So that was the whole concept behind it. What I said to Jams was, man, we could, like, he wasn't alive during that era. And I'm like, I would love to show you how we played as a kid. When I was a kid, this is what we did. Yeah. And when I heard about the Pass the Controller feature, I'm like, dude, it'd be so awesome. We play together, and then all of a sudden, like, okay, Jams, I died. Now you take over. And that's what it is. You click the two triggers, the menu pops up, push the Y button, it pushes the controls over to him, and now he has controls.
Yeah. And I'm like, sounds real good.
I'm like, that is amazing. So we were playing Zelda, the original Zelda.
Yeah.
And every time you died, you passed the controller. And that's how we were playing. And it was like, I was like so like hyped, man. I was like, this is awesome. And it was funny. We struggled to get through the first dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, as simple as that game is, but it's like,
that's a hard game though.
It's still, but it really shouldn't have been as hard as it was. But you know what the problem is like, he's playing and I'm not playing, and I know, like, you go into the first dungeon, like, you should have bombs, you should have stuff to, like,
well, that's the thing, Bobby. Like, with that game, if I was playing with you, I would have to have you be my helpline. Like, you'd have to be telling me, okay, so you got to go here,
and that's what I was doing.
You got to burn this bush. Make sure you've got this. Make sure you're doing that.
Well, I said to him, this week when we play, I want both of us to have maps. Because I wanted to play it like when I was a kid, which we did. We both had maps. We'd have them laid out. Like me and my cousins. I remember, like, my cousin would have the maps and also drawing maps.
Yeah,
it was another big thing. Like, he would actually draw the maps out to go, like, okay, there's a key in this room. There's this, like, this was all stuff we did as kids because there was no information back then. You know, it was just so awesome.
That's cool.
I can't wait to get further in that game with him. But, like, man, Link to the Past, you and I that would be the thing. Like, every Sunday, I'd be like, we're going to stream it and we're going to play it. Karina and the baby can just run wild. Do what you want to do, Karina. We're taking over. So, but I think we're good. Let's real quick. Let's wrap the episode up. Let's do a little bit of what we're playing, if you don't mind. So let's jump in there. What are you playing so far, Toby?
All right. So 2 things. Mm-hmm. Number 1, I beat Shenmue 1.
Ooh.
And I'm on to Shenmue 2 now. And
oh my.
Shenmue 2 is such a leap in quality over the first game. Like, I forgot how much better it is.
Yeah.
The first game is small. Like, you're basically in a small town, and then there's the docks, and that's it. And you know what? I was annoyed because I didn't get the platinum on Shenmue 1 because there were, like, 2 very small things that I didn't do that I wish I'd just looked at the trophy list. So I might end up going back and doing that one day, but I'm gonna have to start a new save file to get back to that point. So yeah, it's really irritating.
No.
Anyway, there's a glitch because they seems to have fixed Shenmue 1 a lot, but Shenmue 2 is still pretty glitchy. There was a free, like, you get these winning cans that you can take to a shop, and then that you get, like, a chance to win a figurine or a game or something. And I went into this building, and Ryu picked up the can, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't know they had these in Hong Kong." Puts it in his pocket. Look in my inventory. It's gone. Not there. So I was like, "Oh, great."
That sucks.
Yeah, but I am enjoying it a lot.
Is that all you're playing?
And the other game I'm playing is Cities Skylines
on
Switch.
Yeah. I want to talk about this.
Yeah, man. So that was a shadow drop in the direct. That was another high point. But yeah, you know, because I love SimCity on the Super Nintendo, and I've not really played like a game like that since then. So I looked it up. It looks pretty cool. I thought I'd just give it a go, and I'm loving it, Bobby. Like, first of all, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, so I started a city. You know, I'm designing the roads. I'm making it like it's England. All the roads are curvy, like. And it's just not going my way. Like, I'm losing money. I've got people complaining about electricity. I put some wind turbines up on the hill. They're not generating enough electricity. I'm in a mess, basically. So then I started a city, because you can turn on unlimited money and just go wild. Yeah. So I thought, all right, I'll play about. I'll turn unlimited money on, build all the crazy stuff. You can unlock everything from the start as well if you want. I quickly got bored because there was no challenge to it. So I made like half a city and then just scrapped it. And then I watched a video tutorial on YouTube. I think there's this guy, I think his name is Some Fair Life Milk, something like that. He does a lot of streams of the Switch version. And he did a tutorial about how to start a beginning city.
Nice.
And after watching that, it was only like 40 minutes long. I knew what I was doing. So I started a new city, and it's working out brilliantly. Like, I'm balancing everything right. You've got to think about things like pollution. So, you have to pump water into your city, and you've got to pay attention because you've got sewage and you've got water intake, and your sewage can't be too close to your water intake. Otherwise,
you don't want to be.
Otherwise,
feeding people the trash.
Exactly. So. And you know what? You do that on a river, that works great because the water's flowing. You can see which way the water's flowing.
Yeah.
You have it flowing away from your intake. You're great. But this new city I started in, it's by either a lake or an ocean, and there's no current. Ooh. So the wastewater, it goes in and it just slowly spreads out. And even though I put them far away from each other, the sewage is seeping ever closer to my water intake by the day.
Oh my God.
I'm it's literally right next to it, and I'm in a panic right now because you can get a water treatment facility, but I've not unlocked it yet because I haven't got enough people in my city. I've got like 2,500 people, but I'm not sure. I think you need like 3,000 or 4,000 people. Like,
oh my God!
So I'm praying that the water don't get contaminated.
That's amazing.
But you know, it's just really interesting. Once it hooks you and you understand what you're doing, then it's really fun.
I got to give this a shot. I was going to buy it now.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was like a $14 game. It's a $40 game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll get it next week. But
yeah,
because I got a lot of games. I bought Undertale. I bought. So what I'm playing at the moment is Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying it. I really am.
Is it worth the money?
It's only $17. It's on sale.
Because it's like it's normally £25 in the UK, and it's 15 at the moment. Yeah. And even that, I thought that was way more than I expected. I don't know. Like I expected it to be 5 or 10.
So far, I'm enjoying it. I'm not very deep into the game, but I really didn't get deep into Final Fantasy 15. That game bored me very quickly, and I wanted out because I'm not really a fan of Monster Hunter, and that is very heavily what that game is based on. Like you're basically running around attacking and doing stuff like that. This game is a little different. But I do like the art style. I do like all the voice acting is there. Like I like some things about this. So I'm gonna push forward a little bit and keep playing it. So far I'm enjoying it. Last night I entered the Splatfest, and what I did was I jumped in, started playing some Splatoon 2, playing the Splatfest. I actually gave away 3 one-year subscriptions to Nintendo Online last night. Yeah. And then the other thing I was doing while I was playing that was the cool thing about that game is, or the Splatfest, they made a change to it, which is very interesting. Before, what would happen is, if you and I wanted to play together, right? Because you can do teams during Splatfest, which is different than Splatoon 1. Splatoon 1, you could only play with randoms, and that was it. They changed it with Splatoon 2, and they go, you can play with friends. But, you got to have 4 friends. If you don't have 4 friends playing, you can't play. They changed it again, and they said you could play with 2 people. You could have your 2 friends together, and then the minute you 2 get locked together, you click search for players, and then it grabs 2 randoms and throws them in. And then last night it was me, Joseph Moran, and Mr. Tribbles, which is a follower of mine on Twitch and stuff. Us 3. So we kept grabbing a random to jump in. And then Luke Lure of the Xbox Drive, he jumped in. And because he won, he was one of the winners of the 1-year subscription. And so he won. I gave him the code. He actually logged in, put it in, and boom, he started playing with us. So it was like, it was cool that like the 4 of us were playing. But again, like when it wasn't 4 of us and it was 2 or 3, like we could still keep playing. Like normally you don't know how many times we would get 3 people.
Yeah. And
then like, or you would get a 4th. And the 4th would have to, one person would have to leave or whatever, and you'd have to stop, and you'd have to, or go to Discord and be like, "Hey guys, we're looking for 1 player." And then the other problem with that game is because you're doing a Splatfest and you pick either retro or modern. That was the 2 last night. You pick retro or modern. Well, what if you didn't take retro or modern, right?
Yeah,
I'm looking for another player. You know what I mean? And then you can't play with us. Well, in this one, because of that, I could still keep playing. Yeah, before it was like, oh man, I got 4 friends, and 3 of them picked one, and 1 picked the other one. I guess we're not playing. But now I can go like, oh well, the 3 of us can go play, and the other one can bugger off and go have fun with other people. So it's kind of interesting that they did that. So they're making changes to it. The other cool thing they did during it was there's a ticker that pops up, like a news ticker. Yeah. And like as you're playing, it's giving you news updates of your friends that are playing elsewhere.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like one of the girls that always plays is Mew Mew.
Yeah. What? Carry on, Bobby.
What are you doing? Put the hoodie down.
Up, that's all.
Oh my god. Anyway, so one of the girls that plays with Mew Mew, I'm playing, and next thing you know, Mew Mew's name pops up there with an accomplishment that she just did. Like that she had won a match. It was like a 10-time multiplier. Because they changed the way scoring is in this too.
Okay.
And before it was just like whoever won the most games. But now what they've done is said like they've put values on certain matches. And like now it's like it's randomly generated those values. And now it's like it's not a matter of like a competition in terms of like, hey, thousands of people more have picked this particular one over this one, so they're just going to bury. No, it's not that way. Now we go multipliers and stuff. And it's like if you win, you can score more points, and it helps out. And so it's kind of interesting.
That's really interesting, the way that they're figuring out balancing things like that online.
Yeah. The one thing that I wish that they would do is I wish that they would turn around and go like, we're going to pick three. We're going to give you three options. Like ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, or ketchup, mustard, relish, or something like that. And then go, what's your favorite topping on a hot dog? You know, and then put those three. And then now you have three teams. And what that would do is it would eliminate the times where you're playing against the same one.
Yeah.
I think it would make it more interesting.
Yeah. I could see that being pretty cool. Yeah.
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to the Nintendo PlayStation Podcast. This was a lot of fun, Toby. I'm glad we kind of went back to a little bit of the original formatting a bit.
Yeah.
Because it made it, it made this an actual fun episode again. It took a little bit. But no,
I want to take questions. If anyone's got anything they want to ask us,
yes, and
we can address that on the next episode. Like that'd be something cool to talk about.
If you want to tweet at us, if you want to tweet the questions to us, you could tweet at Toby_take, myself, Nintendo Gurus. The other thing too is go into the Discord. There is a Nintendo PlayStation section in the Discord in the channels. Go in, drop your questions there. You're more than welcome to do that. That'd be awesome. And so that is all. Peace out, Preston.
You know what? I was going to say peace out, Cub Scout.
That's a deep cut.
That is a deep cut.
That's a deep cut, man. People will be like, what the hell is that? That's deep. That's old school. That was
so deep.
That was a geek ass days, man.
Yeah.
So whatever. Shut up, Toby. Don't be bringing up the past. are not wearing that hoodie like that all show long.
Why not, Bobby?
Because
my hoodie.
Because you're not cool enough to pull the hoodie off.
Oh yes, I am, Bobby. I think you'll find I am the coolest of all the cool, Bobby. I'm going to do a Twitter poll. Who's cooler, me or Bobby Pauls?
You know you're going to lose that poll.
I will win by a landslide,
You
Bobby.
think so? You think so? Let's do it. Do it.
Do it. I'm going to do it.
Do it now. Type it up. Let's go.
Right, hang on.
Type it up, and I'm going to retweet it, and we'll see what happens.
Don't you dare get all of your followers to,
Well, wait a minute. You can't
twist. You can't. I'm not going to say we're not twisting things here, Bobby.
No, you can't twist things. You can't twist things, Bobby. It's not that fair, Bobby. No, we're going to do what we're going to do. This is what happens. You're going to put the poll up. I'm going to retweet it, and we're going to see what happens.
Who is the coolest?
The coolest.
The coolest. Who is the coolest? Bobby, the Nintendo Guru. That's your official name, isn't it?
That's my official name, Bobby the Nintendo Guru.
Or what's my official name?
Toby the Twat.
Oh, Bobby.
Toby the Take.
Toby the British guy.
Toby the Thornton.
Right. Who is the cool? Should I put hashtag anything?
Put something stupid. Like,
hashtag Cool Wars.
Yeah, there you go.
Tweet. I've not tagged you in it.
What the hell's that all about?
Sorry, I'm a Twitter amateur. Anyway, you can find it and you can.
I'll do it right now. You try to slip it underneath the radar. That's the problem with you. You're trying to be slick. Slick Willie in the house.
I should have done a selfie with my hood up. That would have given me extra cool points, Bobby.
We got extra street cred with that?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, man. Guess how much this beautiful hoodie costs, Bobby?
In England? In pounds?
Yeah,
in English pounds?
Yeah.
I would say $9.99.
It's lovely and cozy. It's not like a cheap material. It's lovely. It costs £8, Bobby. £8. You cannot get hoodies in England for £8. Well, you can because I did, but generally you cannot get hoodies for £8. It's a bargain.
Nobody
Bobby.
cares. Nobody cares, man. Seriously, what are we talking about here? We're talking about your stupid M&M hoodie. Nobody cares about your M&M hoodie.
Dude, Eminem is wicked.
I love Eminem. Love Eminem. Did you listen to his diss track? Did you listen to his diss track?
Yeah, I did, dude.
I love that thing, dude.
You know what?
So
Mike and I are writing each other diss tracks.
No, you're not.
We are.
Oh my god, man! I thought about that too. Maybe we should do diss tracks.
Yeah, I thought about that. But
me, you, Sean Capri, the Mega Dads.
I thought you might get too offended. Did you vote for yourself?
No, I did not vote for it. No, I hit retweet. I guess one of my followers already said yes. Sorry, Toby. Sorry.
You've got 100% of the votes so far, Bobby. This is not fair. Can I see who voted?
No, I don't think you're allowed to look at that.
No way. I think that's your alt account, Bobby.
Oh, would you stop?
I think you're playing games.
I'm not playing any games. I think you're playing games. Okay, you got your 3 Sony stories?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got your topic, that was the classic, right? That we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Okay. And then I got my Nintendo one. Okay.
Do you know what episode it is?
Yes, I do. We're good. What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of the Nintendo PlayStation Podcast.